I was there at the time. So, and the group started. So the vision of Safari groups is a healthy and vibrant group that deepens its roots in Christ and widens its boundaries in community, connecting, equipping, transforming, and multiplying. And I felt it necessary to just define the word safari because it's a Kiswahili word used in Kenya, and it means traveling. Like when you want to go somewhere, you say, I'm going on a safari. So, yeah. So the importance of safari groups, it was first of all tagged as a discipleship for the whole family, and a neighborhood Bible study group, and for people to meet and grow together. And I believe the intended purpose and objectives of Safari Group was to enhance, still is to enhance spiritual growth. So the objectives of Safari Groups, number one, was to create an environment that facilitates an authentic encounter with God, provide opportunity for interactive study of the Word, encourage prayer and worship, create opportunity for fellowship, accountability, and care for the family, encourage witnessing and mission, and finally develop and mentor leadership. So the key qualities that I am proposing to evaluate is whether, since the inception of Safari groups, have there been an improvement or a change to how members foster close relationships in the context of a mega church, how the Safari groups have provided a comfortable setting for every member, and whether the manual that was introduced, because every model had its own manual, so whether the manual was used as a tremendous tool for discipleship, and whether members of the church or of Safari groups were involved as they developed their gifts, and also how they have been engaged in pastoral care, and finally how the Safari groups provided a source of encouragement and accountability. So my concerns is the senior pastor. How will the senior pastor understand the importance of assessment? Because there has never been assessment in that area for the 3 years that I was involved. And what if the hierarchy of leadership does not allow me to express the importance of assessment? So that was my concern. So how to address these concerns? I believe it is necessary, the leadership, to develop a new climate. And for this reason, I will involve the senior pastor, the pastors in charge of Safari groups, zonal leaders who are also in charge of Safari groups, and the Safari group leaders, and talk about the new assessment process. And then proposal for the new assessment. I was thinking about introducing, an assessment of the spiritual growth, a general assessment of a spiritual growth of Safari group members in 5 different areas. Number 1, Bible study, fellowship, outreach, care for one another, and leadership development and mentorship. And for this, I believe it is important to assess whether believers are encouraged in their journey of faith. And then who to involve is the senior pastor, the Safari Group pastors, the zonal leaders, and the Safari Group leaders. And all these leaders will be stakeholders of this process and will be much involved to oversee the assessment effort. I will inform the pastor in charge of Safari Groups. And because CITAM has been having transitions over the years, so the pastor I left has already been transitioned to another congregation. So there's a new pastor. So I hope the Safari Group pastor will introduce me to the senior pastor so that he can allow me to form a committee which will involve 3 Safari Group leaders and 3 zonal leaders. And this will be a total of 8 leaders. How will I do that? I will write 6 invitation letters to all all these stakeholders and request for a possible meeting, and their involvement will determine who will oversee the new assessment process. And the 8 members will supposedly have a meeting to address any issue they have seen over the years since the inception of Safari Groups. And during the meeting, I will address because I have been developed, so I have learned quite a lot, because of this course. So I will address theological perspectives on planning and evaluation, borrowing from Kahalan in projects that matter. And I will ask the questions, the 4 general questions addressed by Kahalan. I don't know whether I have time to read the questions, but I will have some questions to address. And then after that, I will do a training. I will explain the reason we engage in planning and evaluation. And I will introduce the 3 virtues of Christian life mentioned by Kahalan, and that is stewardship, discernment, and prudence. And then, what is assessed is the 5 main areas, as I have said there before, and each area have different questions that I have developed. And the Bible study has 3 questions, and then I have fellowship has 2 questions, outreach has 1 question, and the other one is care for one another. It has 2 questions, and the other one is develop as leaders to mentors. It has 2 questions. So data collection, since there is no means or any existing documents to answer a particular question, I will make sure I use the written interview questions, and I will inform all stakeholders who will also be involved in data collection. And then the procedure for data collection is that all the 9 qualitative questions already structured in an interview protocol, and the questions will be used to interview selected Safari Group members. So this research instrument will contain open-ended questions, and so that the members can be able to describe their responses freely. Yeah, so data analysis, a team of leaders who are not involved in collecting data will be involved to analyze, and these are senior pastor in charge, and the 3 zonal leaders. And since this will be a pilot study of 3 Safari Groups, this committee of data analysis will consist of 6 leaders. And I will encourage we adopt an expert in data analysis who will help, to guide on how data will be analyzed. Yeah, and then the findings. The findings will enable assessment leaders to assess how members are fostering close relationships, as I had said before. And the findings will be discussed to make decisions informed by any gaps that will be found and deliberate on the way forward. And who will carry this process is the senior pastor. Data, of course, data now is corrected and now the analysis is done. And now wait a minute, what am I saying? I have talked about data correction and analysis, and now the senior pastor will be involved to motivate and encourage members to participate. And this can be done by an announcement during 2 Sunday services, and members can be asked to expect Safari group leaders to communicate to them. Yeah, and then okay, thank you. Then there'll be data review, which will be reviewed qualitatively, and it will be based on the feedback during the interviews, and it will be interpreted and analyzed to generate results. So recommendation, this will be the final step, and it will involve the senior pastor, assistant pastors, and Safari group leaders. And I will also invite assessment project leaders to use the findings to strengthen the Safari group's claim. Yeah, by introducing activities and resources needed in the future to sustain the Safari group program. I have also some steps for leaders and finally who will be tasked with responsibility. Once decisions are made in the Safari group, I'll be very happy to have gone this far and appreciate the work that has been done. And the bishop of the entire CITAM church, the senior pastor, the board, and the council of elders will be the ones to take responsibility for implementing the needed changes. End of my presentation. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, it's a new pastor, but CITAM operates in like we have 20 assemblies, and these assemblies have been, the pastors have been rotating. So, like, the new pastor has come from a different assembly, and the Safari group was introduced in all the assemblies. So, he actually knows about it. Mhm. 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 Yeah. Mhm.